Some 17 years ago, tragedy struck the family of the James when a distant cousin of Mr. James, who once lived with them in the past, raped and consequently impregnated their only daughter, Mabel. Though shocked and infuriated by the incident, they resorted to handling the pregnancy discreetly without terminating the child, being fervent Christians that they are.
Please. You've been saying this for days now.
Yeah?
The deed is done. What we should be discussing now is a way forward, please.
Way forward?
Yes.
Which way forward? Don't you know our faith forbids abortion? Just hear you.
I know. You know, I've been thinking that...
Thinking of what?
We take me back to the village.
Mm-hmm.
We take me back to my sister in the village.
Yes.
I've discussed with her, you know, for some years now she has been married without a child. She's willing to take responsibility for Mabel and the unborn child until she puts to bed. Please.
It's the truth. I never thought so. I guess that is the...
Mrs. James' elder sister at the time took custody of the pregnant girl and eventually adopted the baby brought forth, since she was in dire need of a baby to call her own. Years later, Mabel is living a matrimonial bliss, the type every couple craves for, living in peace, love and understanding with her husband and kids, enjoying all the good this life can offer.
Anybody that looks for my trouble, you shoot the person to God.
Straight.
I love it, children.
She is suddenly confronted with the reality of her 17 years past trauma. Death snatched Mabel's aunt, who adopted Monica. But before passing away, she revealed to the girl that her biological mother is Mabel. The same Mabel the girl knew as her aunt all the while.
She keep insisting that she wants to live with you.
You see, Mabel, we have persuaded Monica enough.
Yes.
And we can't stand against her decision.
Yes.
After all, she's old enough to take some
Decisions
on her own.
Samson has performed his evil deed. He has escaped by dying. I pray he sees heaven. So you see, she wants. You are the only one who cannot call on. I pray he sees heaven.
All this while you came to visit me in the village. You told me you were my big auntie, not knowing you were my real mother. No wonder you have been so nice to me. I want to come and live with you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've been pretending to be your auntie. It's not easy. Mommy.
Yes, dear.
I'm glad Monica is coming home to stay with me. But I'm worried.
Worried?
Yes, Mom.
About what?
I don't know how Christian will take this. He's not aware of the whole thing.
Then tell him.
No, you know it's not easy.
It's totally unacceptable. I can't take it at all. Having a child outside out of wedlock is irresponsible.
As loving as Christian is, he could sometimes be oversensitive and firm as regards certain issues, especially those bordering on immorality. He once vehemently disapproved of the act of having children out of wedlock, much to the concern of his wife, who, unbeknownst to him, is a victim of sin.
You are very correct. Who should learn how to keep themselves pure for marriage?
Yes!
They should, honestly. I'm beginning to wonder I should know to come to guide.
So, the thing is, I can't take that at all.
What you should be worried of now is tell God that God should give you that courage for you to be bold enough to tell him. Are you getting me? Everything will be fine. Don't worry, okay?
Mabel's present challenge is how best to tell her husband of the teenage child that is not his own, considering how sensitive he is to issues bordering on having children out of wedlock.
What happened while I was coming? The vehicle, I actually don't know what happened, separated into two. It was actually funny. Baby. Baby!
Honey, I'm sorry.
You mean you didn't hear what I said?
I wasn't concentrating. I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
How does she let him know that the child is a product of rape and not promiscuity? How does she let him know she desires to personally murder the child in their home? Will her 2 kids and Christian accept their stepsister with open arms? She is confused.
Okay, I am of the opinion from the clip that if they made her see reasons to tell her husband something as vital as that, I think if pressure came from there, she would have been helped long ago. So why did they conceal it? What should be the place of the family? What should have done differently? Okay, Mr. Praise, what should have done differently?
First, let me say something with this divulging of secrets and all the whole issues surrounding it. When people are keeping secrets, usually they are not comfortable with the secrets they are keeping. So why would someone pour petrol on his laps, set it on fire, and then start hiding it? It's burning, but you're hiding it. Secrets are usually not comfortable to be kept. Well, maybe not all secrets. I don't know.
So,
but secrets are usually not comfortable because there's always the fear of it's going to spill. It's going to spill. You put so much effort to hold the secret. And the reason for that is because of fear. The fear of if it spills or when it spills, what is it going to cause? Where is it going to get to? So because of the fear of the frame of mind of the people around is the reason why some other people keep secrets. So if you have a woman who is not able to divulge a particular secret to her husband or hide something for a while, it's because of the fear of the spouse. Now, the spouse, whether a spouse or an intended spouse, needs to have created a foundation, an environment for that lady to be able to speak her mind.
okay.
And for that to happen, it's trust. It grows. Just the same way that it can diminish, it grows. So you have to have created opportunities. All secrets are not at the same levels. Some are more grievous than some. So if the lady had in the past maybe spoken something little, is maybe a minor issue to the man, and the man let it loose, how do you think she's going to talk about that one? That's like in the society of now. That's like one of the biggest things for any, almost in any marriage issues, whatever. It always has to do with this infidelity. There's almost nothing greater than infidelity in any relationship right now. That's the biggest.
Okay.
So if a little one, the guy went, ballistic, how is he going to handle that big one? Then he will pull the sky down. So you see, the woman will continue to live in perpetual fear of speaking out the truth.
So it's not just for the woman, it's also for the man as well.
Spouses,
yeah.
Men, women, you need to help your spouse to speak the truth by being welcoming. You need to prove, you need to show over time. It may take time, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, but you need to prove over time that you can be able to absorb things, you can be able to cool and talk. Fine, you are emotional, you may react too, but you need to always calm down and communicate, talk, and then your spouse will be able to tell you things.
Okay, I still want a part of this. Pastor Tedo, what can be done to keep this open door communication between the husband and the wife?
Effective communication.
Yes, such that, like you said, the way you said it, effective communication and also open-ended communication.
Yeah, I call it effective communication. Okay. The open-ended communication is a problem to the women. The women are not open-ended. I'm sorry to say that to our women folks, they are not open-ended. They keep more secrets than men. When he was talking, I was just laughing in the inside because I know that women keep more secrets. That, something happened recently and the woman said, so this will remain a secret for life. I was like, a secret for life? And so many other things like that have been happening. Women keep more secret. But I, for one, if you're simple, you can always let out everything. It's just that in this part of the world that we find ourselves, Nigeria, we know how to keep secrets. We don't conceal things. But personally, I don't know how to keep secrets, so I tell you the way it is. Yes, you may say, I heard when you were saying that, you know, when you tell your spouse, and if this thing is this major thing, it may cause problem, let it cause any problem. Let's discuss it. The marriage will not break, provided. This is why I do my things. Okay. If I take out time to pray and hear God, He will certainly speak, and it's solved.
Actually, no marriage will break unless the people decide to break.
Yes. Well, so it's good to let out everything.
Okay. But I think there's a part of...
At an appropriate time.
Okay.
At an appropriate time.
That's good, but that is a caveat, or that also gives a room for people to keep secret for so long. They say it's not yet time.
When I say appropriate time, I don't mean that long a time. No. Okay. Appropriate. Something happened today. And take out time 3 days, you fast and pray about it. God will speak to you.
What about the Bible says your anger should not stay for morning till...
It's not anger. I'm not talking about anger here. I did something and I want to let my spouse know. Okay. I take out time to pray about it 3 days. Look, the Bible says that if you fail to confess your sin, what happens? You will not prosper. Does that speak a word to you today? We should let out these things and free ourselves.
Sure.
Okay, but let me mention something. Sir, you mentioned that women keep secrets.
A lot of them.
But do you know that the women that keep secrets, how do you know they keep secret? You only know they keep secret because they told the secret to somebody. They have clique. They have like a team, a group like that they share their secrets with. Why do they do that? They feel safe within that group.
That's it.
That is why they divulge the secret to that group. But they feel that my husband
so is not going to take it. That safety.
So that's why I'm saying that. What
people,
anybody, male, female, needs to be able to speak secrets is assurance of safety.
Of safety.
Once they have that impression, whether it's false safety, whether it's genuine or whatever, but once they have the impression that if I tell this person, there's not going to be a backlash, they will eventually speak.
Okay, that's true. I think I would agree to that. And so our main folk, should try as much as they can to deal with their women folk, with peace, with love, with joy, with wisdom.
Yes.
And so that they will feel safe with them. I think I need to buy into it.
And to also portray that the truth is that we are humans. Okay. I like being honest with myself. A lot of us are dishonest. We claim to be what we are not.
Yeah.
The truth is that I react. Sometimes I respond. Sometimes I react. I know the difference between reaction and response. Response is they give you stimulus and then you return correspondingly. Reaction is they give you stimulus, they give you at 5 volts, you return it at 5,000 volts. That's like a bomb. You react, you expand, like a pyrotechnic. Sometimes I do that, I must be honest. But after doing that, I try to calm myself down. I tell myself that I'm not supposed to do this. I try to calm myself down. It may take me time or whatever, but when I am wrong, I know I am wrong. I don't need someone to tell me that I'm wrong. If I need someone to tell me first that I'm wrong, then I'm very wrong. That's the thing. So even if your makeup, your person is that reacting person, there are people like that. Some people are very cool. I have a colleague that is so cool under any pressure at work. He is so cool.
Okay.
And I'm like, how can you be so cool? Everybody is boiling. But I told him, I need to be like you. I need to be like that.
Okay, we have to go. We have to go to continue. We will not stop. Wow, it's hot in here. We can't stop, but we have to. What we'll do is we'll just go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping up this session. Please don't go anywhere. Hello viewers, you're welcome back. Before we went on the short break, we said what part of your past must be told to your spouse, to your intending husband. Okay, not just in your intending, even during marriage. What past must he know? Okay, Pastor Perla, please talk about that.
Well, I think I spoke about this before now.
Okay.
I'm a person that doesn't keep secrets. I mean secrets that she should know, virtually everything that she should know. When I was cutting with my spouse, I told her everything. And even the very serious one that she said, if I had known, I wouldn't have married you. And it was sorted out instantly. So it's good to tell her everything. Tell him everything. It helps.
Okay, so that's a prevention case. So now let's look at the situation at hand. If I would call it a curing case, that was a prevention case.
Okay.
If it was told, there wouldn't have been this situation.
Yeah.
But now, Mr. Praise, there's been a situation. What do you advise her to do? How best can she present this situation to her husband?
Okay, first, before I talk about that, let me add to what he just said about the extent of your past that you have to let somebody in your life know, especially the person that is going to be your spouse or your partner for life. The truth is that if your walk into marriage, you did it together with God, that is not alone. If God led you, the person that is going to be the person of peace in your life is not going to leave. Even if the person leaves you temporarily, the person will come back. No matter how grievous what you told the person is. If the person doesn't come back, that's not for you in the first place. If that person is for you, the person will not find gold in anybody else apart from you. The person will be like, sorry to use this analogy, but will look like that evil spirit that leaves a man and goes to wander about and finds no place of rest and returns back to the man. The person will not find anything better. I try to be the best my wife can find amongst any man anywhere. I deliberately try to do it. I've told her over and over, you can't find a man better than me. You may find some better in some instances, but you can never find a total package better than me. I know you are smiling. That's just the truth. Now, divulge your past to the person, because no matter how hot the person is, it's always less when the person knows it from you than when it comes from another person. And I bet you, almost every secret you have, somebody knows about it.
That's true.
And that person, look, once you leave it in the hands of that person, you are giving the person the weapon to do you something. When the person knows you are keeping a secret, the person will come and meet you and say, if you don't tell me, I will reveal it. Why do you think there's all those sex tape matter, all those stuff abroad and all those things? People will sleep with each other and record it. Some people will now snatch it. They now start using it against others. You know, I'll release it, or they'll put it on Facebook. They'll put it on it. People will start begging, start paying money. It's because you created room for it. Okay, even if it's like that, tell your spouse. If your spouse knows, she or he is going to be hot at that moment. If that person is genuinely your spouse and the person values you, the person is still not going to leave you.
Okay, so how can we now solve this one?
Now, in this particular situation, now, Pastor has already mentioned some things. The truth is that it is beyond human capacity. I'm a normal human being. When you tell me those kind of things, I'll be like, you think I'm an alien? You want me to just take it like that? But if you talk to God before you talk to me, God will talk to me in a way that I know that if I violate what God has said, I'm going to be flawed. There was somebody that had a similar problem. Her name is Mary. I think if you look at the Bible, you will find her. She had a problem. She did not need any man, and so man started becoming good. She couldn't go to that guy called Joseph to say, I overate. That was it. God by himself told Joseph, in those days, people caught in those kind of scenarios, you know what happens to them? It's death by stoning. She was facing a death by stoning issue. Of course, the Bible does not tell us specifically whether she went to pray, oh Lord, go and tell Joseph. But the thing is that the Lord encountered Joseph by himself. If Joseph had violated, Mary would have still been alive, but something would have gone wrong with Joseph. I'm sure another father, earthly father, would have entered into it. So the truth is this: if you are going up against a mountain, go to God, tell God about it, tell God to go ahead of you. Okay. Solution will come. Okay. It may be hard though, but solution will come.
So you heard it. He said if God is leading you, it would balance both ends. I actually read something I was praying for this. There was this real life scenario, okay, in America though. The man was unfaithful and he was struggling. Okay, he now got so deeply into it, was struggling with how to tell the wife. So on his part, God was dealing with him on repentance. You know what God did to the wife? God was dealing with her on forgiveness. So you just said it. When you started, I was smiling and you're talking as I was smiling. So God have a way of balancing these things. So please, let's tell it to him. I remember somebody said, he said in that clip, he said, or in that write-up, he said, Lord, please help me to forgive my husband. Rather, not he, she said, please help me to forgive my husband. Because it was something she suspected all the way, but she didn't know what to do. But when God came in, he balanced both ends. You've heard it all.
I want to say something. Okay. Yeah, I think the Spirit of God is here. When you were talking, before you started talking, this scripture came into my mind. Matthew 5:44. Forgive your enemies. Do good to them that despitefully use you and persecute you. So the man has to forgive. Forgive. Just forgive. It's difficult in the flesh to forgive. Yeah. But in the spirit, as you walk in the spirit, you certainly forgive. So he has to forgive the spouse.
And seriously, if the Bible tells you to forgive an enemy, how much more a friend?
A friend.
So if the Bible tells you to forgive, it's possible. If the Bible tells you to forgive is possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Some person saying this one is not a forgivable offense. It's beyond forgiveness.
Well, let's multiply 70 times 7 times.
If you can count it,
has gone that
if you can count 70 times 7 and count it successfully,
that's just one.
I believe you are evil. Mm-hmm. I believe you are evil. If you can count 70 times, 490 times, and you counted it successfully, you must be evil.
Yeah. Okay, but let's just drop it.
So there has to be forgiveness, and there has to be prayer, like you said, serious prayer.
And the help of God, so don't forget that part. Okay, so what's your final word to our viewers at home, considering, I would hear that there's something you can do to avoid having an urgent past in your present. So what do you suggest our viewers they do to avoid having an urgent past in their present? Pastor, I figure that.
Well, I always end this way. You need to fear God, and keep to all His commandments. You need to love Him with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And also love your neighbors as you love yourself. Our society today is black. I use the word black. I don't mean me as in dark in complexion. There's so much evil, that has pervaded the society. Of course, it's scriptural. But when you live in love and walk in the fear of the Lord, those things will come. It may come in one way, but it will certainly scatter in 7 ways. That is the scriptures. So I know, and I certainly know that nobody can rape your children, or your children looking at me today, nobody can rape them. For 4 generations to come, nobody can touch any one of them. That is the word for you today. Amen. Thank you.
That's a pastor speaking. Better say amen. Mr. Fraser, what's your final word for our viewers?
My take is that sometimes we find ourselves in error. If you find yourself in error, maybe emotion got the better or the best of you, be honest with yourself and talk to your spouse. Your spouse is very likely going to give you an opportunity, a way out, if you had sown that same seed in the past. He that sows mercy will reap mercy. But if you sow strife, you also reap strife. Now, it doesn't matter who fell into whatever first. The thing is that anytime your spouse finds himself or herself in error, sow the seed of mercy, because you can never tell what may come your own way. What you despise your spouse for today, you may find yourself in a more difficult situation.
Okay, so our viewers, you read it all. Me, on my end, I want to say this, that the pain of admitting a wrong is never a wrong journey. The pain of admitting a wrong is never a wrong journey. You cannot regret it. Okay, I remain your host, Abigail, and you can follow us, our social media handle showing on the screen. Please, we need your comments, we need your suggestions, we need your what you have to give to make this program better, and your questions also. Thank you very much for being part of this program. Bye. See you some other time.